President Donald Trump's first veto is in the books. Both the House and Senate voted to oppose the president's emergency declaration. So his veto means that he can now move forward with plans to earmark billions of dollars for a barrier along the southern border. That money will come from funding for projects and programs that Congress already approved. 12 Republicans joined Democrats to try to block the resolution.
We're going to sign something that's going to give us safety at our border.
No president's ever used what's called the National Emergencies Act in this way.
House Democrats will vote March 29th to try and override the veto. To override it in the Senate, they would need every Democrat and every Republican who already voted against the president, plus 8 more votes.
Joining us for perspective now is NBC News political director and moderator of Meet the Press, Chuck Todd. And Chuck, President Trump just issuing his first veto this afternoon after the House and Senate rebuked his emergency declaration for the border wall. What is the next move on both sides?
Well, the next move is going to be the court. I mean, that will technically, I think Congress is going to try to override the veto, first starting in the House, then the Senate. It's clear the votes aren't there for that. Then this will move to the courts, and there's going to be a basic question here. Will the Supreme Court weigh in? This is your classic legislative branch versus the executive branch. On one hand, the court could easily say, you know what, the legislative branch had a chance to override the veto, and they chose not to. There wasn't enough votes. Or the court could say, nope, the way the president used the Emergency Act actually was a violation of the Constitution.
Beto O'Rourke now, he's in Iowa, of course, announcing he's running for president this week. What's the buzz about him among the Washington insiders there in Washington in both parties?
I'd say perplexing when it comes to O'Rourke Washington. There's certainly a lot of folks on both sides of the aisle who are impressed with what he did in Texas. But there is, on the Democratic side, I'd call it optimistic skepticism, and on the Republican side, I'd call it some form of hopeful skepticism, right? They fear, I think they secretly fear a Beto O'Rourke candidacy, that it could turn into Obama 2.0 from 2008, where he gets to be a candidate that's all things to all people, which presidential candidates dream of being, right? The less specifics you give, the more broad your appeal can appear. But there is still some skepticism. Is he for real? Can he keep this up? How long can he go without taking specific stances that might alienate one constituency in the party over another? And oh, by the way, in a party that seems determined to nominate somebody that isn't a white male, how does he navigate that ambition inside the party?
Thank you, Chuck. And Chuck will be in Iowa this weekend. He'll speak with the presidential candidates there, including O'Rourke. You can watch that Sunday morning on Meet the Press, 9 o'clock, right here on KXAN.